Are you thinking about purchasing a foreclosure property in British Columbia but not sure where to start? Well, today I am going to break down a step-by-step process so you can take advantage of potential deals while staying informed and prepared. I'm Lisa Salt with RE/MAX Vernon Salt Fowler. Let's dive in. Step one in the process is understanding what a foreclosure actually is. So before getting started, let's talk about that. What a foreclosure is and how it works. So in British Columbia, a foreclosure occurs when a homeowner defaults on their mortgage payment. And then the lender in turn takes legal action to recover the unpaid debt, the money that was owing to them that hasn't been paid. This process involves the court system to ensure that the property sale is conducted fairly and transparently. Now, many think that, oh boy, the bank will sell this house for whatever's owed on the property, and I know there's only $50,000 owing and we can virtually steal it. However, such is not the case. The court in BC has the final say in approving any sale of a foreclosed property. So unlike standard home sales, foreclosure properties are sold as is, where is, meaning there are no guarantees about the property's condition, no guarantees on what items will be left behind, nothing, nada.
There's nothing.
The bank will literally have you sign as the buyer the Schedule A, stating that they are not obligated to assure anything will still be in the house at the time of possession. That can be a major deterrent and a big risk for you as a buyer, and you need to understand that. Now, step number two is writing your offer. Really, that's the first actionable step. You'll need to include a Schedule A addendum, like we just talked about, that is prepared by the lender's lawyer, and that outlines the terms of the sale. You will definitely want to carefully review this document, pass it by your own lawyer, probably. And it often states that the property, as I said, is sold as is, where is, with no representations or warranties. There will also be no property disclosure statement, as you would normally expect with most other non-foreclosure properties. That's where the seller fills out all these questions where they disclose any known defects to the property. So this means the home could have defects or damage that won't be repaired or disclosed by the seller. So you just have to be aware of that. In addition, there's no chattels included. There's no appliances, no furniture, no, air conditioning, whatever. Nothing's guaranteed to be included, regardless of what you see when you view the home. As is, where is. If you want to buy a foreclosure, get used to hearing that phrase. Now, you have to ensure your offer reflects the potential costs of repairs and missing items to avoid surprises later. That's where the deal part of this can come in with a foreclosure. Yes, the bank or the private lender or whomever it is wants to get the property off its books, and yes, they want it sold. However, the deal will come by you being willing to accept the as is, where is risky situation that it implies. Step three, I think this is super important. Work with an experienced realtor. Foreclosure purchases involve complex legal and procedural steps compared to any standard home sale. And a realtor with experience in foreclosure sales can help you navigate the process and ensure the proper documentation, protect you from even more risk, and help you assess the property's true value. They can also assist you in identifying foreclosure listings. Those aren't normally advertised. So they can guide you through the legal requirements, ensuring you're protected from those unexpected risks. So look for an agent who has successfully closed foreclosure deals in the past and who understands the complexities of these court-ordered sales. Step four is to get approved for financing. Not just financing, but get approved for all your other conditions. Securing financing, in particular, in advance is critical when dealing with foreclosures because your offer can't be approved in court with any conditions at all. Can't be subject to financing. The bank or lender can accept your offer, however, the offer can't go to court for approval with any conditions. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. There's one condition that stays on your offer that we'll talk about in a moment. And the process can move quickly. Seller's offer will favor buyers with solid financial proof because they want to get it, again, they want to get it off the books. Keep in mind that lenders may have stricter conditions for foreclosure properties, so disclose this up front when you're seeking approval for your mortgage, so you're not wasting a bunch of time trying to get pre-approved and the lender's like, oh, I didn't didn't know it was a foreclosure. You can't buy that. Now, since the property is sold as is, where is, you should budget for repairs and be prepared for potential extra costs as well. Do your home inspection now. If your offer doesn't get approved in court or you lose in court in competition, then unfortunately your money was wasted. However, you don't have a choice. Well, I mean, I guess unless you don't get a home inspection, but that's risky. I wouldn't do that. Remember, as is, where is, you have to protect yourself with a thorough inspection of the home. You don't want any surprises. I mean, unless you're going to tear it down or something. However, still, you know, oil tanks, stuff like that, that could be a huge consideration in the price that you offer. Now, we still have 6 more steps. However, before we get there, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel, where we're posting helpful new videos every single week. So make note of the info below and just add salt. Moving on to step 5, make your offer subject to court approval. Talked about that or alluded to that a minute ago. Even if the lender accepts your offer, it is not final until the court approves the sale. This added layer of approval exists to protect all the parties involved because the owner is going to be on the hook for any shortfall. So say, for example, if the mortgage they defaulted on is at $500,000 and the property is sold in court at $400,000, then the mortgagee, the owner, is on the hook for the $100,000 difference plus the legal fees plus. The court process protects the person who defaulted from being taken advantage of. The court will do its best to approve only an offer that is at or near market value, considering market conditions, the condition of the property, the time it's been on the market, all those things. Anyhow, your offer must clearly include a condition requiring court approval, subject to court approval. Step 6, let's talk about your court date. Once your subjects are removed and your offer is condition-free, the court will schedule a date for the hearing. This will take place in small claims court, and it often takes 3 or more weeks from the subject removal date to be set. Now, during this period, other interested buyers can still submit competing offers right up until the court date. So being patient during this phase is important, as foreclosure timelines are often unpredictable. That's just part of the risk part. Stay in regular contact with your realtor for updates, and once the date is announced, plan to be there in person with a plan B and a plan C in case there are other competing offers that are submitted into court or have been submitted prior to court. Step 7, your offer price becomes public. Here's the real big difference between foreclosures and regular sales. Once your conditions are removed, or once anyone's conditions are removed on that first offer and the court date is set, the price on that offer is public information. Be prepared for potential competition, as foreclosure deals often attract multiple bidders. Those bidders are seeking discounted price on the property, so you could have a multiple offer situation, you just don't know it yet. The realtor working on behalf of the lender may disclose this information now. That can invite competition, and this transparency can result in multiple offers being presented either, like I said beforehand, or into the court on the scheduled date. You have to be prepared for the possibility of being outbid and consider those risks versus the rewards of increasing your offer to stay competitive. Now, step 8 is court date arrives. On the scheduled court date, all offers will be presented to the judge in small claims. Other buyers can then submit new offers on that same day, and that can bring with it an auction-like scenario. Often what happens is the judge invites sealed bids, where all parties submit their best offers in a sealed bid confidentially. Then the court will review all offers and select the one that offers the highest price. All offers are or should be condition-free. I mean, if any aren't, they won't be considered. Then the judge will pick the best price. And this is why you will want to be present in person at the court date with your plan B, your plan C. Plan B may be if there's one other offer being presented. What am I willing to do with my price? Plan C may be if there's 10 other offers. That's a different price. And then sometimes no one shows up and it's a cakewalk. You never know until you get there. So you can't plan, unfortunately. Let's talk about court approval. If the court accepts your offer, a court order will be issued confirming the sale. The successful buyer must then provide the deposit immediately. Well, that's the other thing. I should explain. If you're the first to offer, your deposit is going to be in trust. However, if you're presenting a competing offer in court, you have to have a bank draft for your deposit ready and willing to be cashed immediately, otherwise you're out. Once one of the offers is approved in court, the sale becomes legally binding. And then you have to wait for possession date to see what state your property is in. Usually they're fine. I've only seen a few that aren't in the same condition as when they saw them, but sometimes, people can take the appliances or whatever. I did have one where the owner, I guess it was, the previous owner, was still in the house and wouldn't get out.
Sir, this is our home.
All
so
right.
we just
Well,
need
we're
a few
going in
minutes.
circles here.
Then there's bailiffs and whatnot. It's messy. However, again, in over 30 years, only one of those, in my experience. Step 10, let's talk about the risks and final consideration. So buying a foreclosure can be a rewarding investment opportunity. There's upside for sure. Comes with significant risks though. Properties are sold without representations and warranties, like I said, and the court process adds complexity and uncertainty in the process. I mean, how does a renter give notice to their landlord? Or what if you sold your house and you need a place to live? You can't count on that foreclosure. You might lose in court. Foreclosures are really tough to purchase in those types of instances. Plus, defects or hidden damage can be discovered after the purchases too. So then they become your problem. You sign the Schedule A, as is, where is. Best advice again, work with a knowledgeable realtor and a legal professional that can help mitigate these risks. Ensure you understand the legal implications and the potential repair costs before proceeding. That's my best advice. So there you have it. That's my best advice. That's the essential steps in buying a property in British Columbia, a foreclosure property in British Columbia. If you're not scared off and you're still thinking about exploring the foreclosure properties as a possibility for your next purchase and need some expert guidance, please feel free to reach out to RE/MAX Vernon Salt Fowler. Thanks for watching.
Just